Hello and welcome to In the Power Room. I'm Mike Moore. Today on In the Power Room we're going to be talking about the oldest battery known to man, the Baghdad battery. And it was discovered in 1936 amongst a bunch of other archaeological finds from a dig that they did. This is kind of what it looks like. The original Baghdad battery was made out of a clay pot. We're not going to be using that for our mock-up. We're just going to use a regular old ball jar. Nothing fancy about it. So what we've done is we've modified the top of the jar a little bit. A piece of 1/2-inch copper pipe, which would be pretty consistent with what they say the Baghdad battery originally looked like, which was a copper foil that was rounded, and then an iron rod was placed in the middle. And that's what we're doing here. We have the iron rod in the middle. It is interesting to note that the iron rod can't touch the copper pipe, or otherwise it will short the circuit out. So we have to be careful not to have that short out at all or touch. And the way we've been able to do that is we've added a few rubber grommets. You do want to allow electrolyte, or in this case we're going to be using vinegar as our electrolyte, to come into the cavity of the inside the copper pipe around that iron file, and that will hopefully get us an electrical charge. So when we do that, screw it all together. And we put in our electrolyte here. We have some vinegar right here. We're just going to pour some of that in. And before we do that, we're going to set our voltmeter up so we can take a look at how this thing reacts once you put in the copper or put in the electrolyte. Our positive will be the copper pipe, and the negative will be our iron rod. And we have to make sure when we set these leads up that we don't short out one on the other. So here we go, we're going to pour it in. Let's take a look at our voltage right now. We have 0 volts going across that. So as we put in our electrolyte, then we drop in our element, screw it on tight. The original Baghdad battery seal was asphalt or tar, but we're not doing that. And you can see the voltage is climbing up there to the 1/2 volt. Output, it doesn't seem to have much power output. It won't even light up a light bulb. Even when you series up 5 or 6 of these guys together, I couldn't get a light bulb to even light. I'll show you what I mean. I've made up 5 of these, and each one of these guys produces roughly a 1/2 volt. So when I put a series connection on these guys, minus to plus, so when I put my voltmeter across the series connection, we can see a voltage of roughly 2. And you can see that's climbing a little bit. But when I put a load across it, bulb, low power, when I throw this across the circuit, it still won't light, which means there's not much current in this product or this battery. So that's the Baghdad battery. Believe it or not, a lot of people believe that was the first battery ever made.